Welcome to the Newsfeed. In today's episode, we're bringing you an important conversation from the Cascade PBS Ideas Festival on what it's like for an international correspondent to cover the Israel-Hamas war. Plus, a new poll shows Washington voters favor 3 initiatives that will be on the general election ballot. I'm Paris Jackson. Today's top story. We have your exclusive view of all the sessions from the Cascade PBS Ideas Festival. Coming up, CNN's Tug of War podcast, recorded live in May, right here in Seattle. One Middle East correspondent shares her first-hand account of what it's like to report on a conflict that's gripping the entire world.
Access to Gaza for journalists, independent media really can't get in because of Israeli restrictions, despite a lot of push from Western media to get in there. So we've had to rely a lot on Palestinian journalists. And so I guess I'm wondering, when you are putting together a TV package for covering what is happening on the ground there, like what does that process look like with that, knowing that we can't be there ourselves?
We are hugely reliant on our Palestinian colleagues inside Gaza. We have a number of producers and photojournalists who work with CNN, Khadr al-Zanoun, Mohammed Sawalhi, among many others who have been so vital in documenting what is happening in Gaza. Of course, had we had access to Gaza, if we were able to get access to Gaza, as we continue to push to try and get access to, our teams would be there on the ground directly. But that simply hasn't been the case. The only way that journalists have been able to get in so far is on guided tours with members of the Israeli military. The embeds, which of course are heavily restricted. We are only seeing what the Israeli military wants us to see.
Right.
And of course, our colleague Clarissa Ward was able to get access independently with an aid organization, but again, a very limited time frame there, not really able to see the full picture of what is happening in Gaza. So it's these Palestinian journalists on the ground who are really bearing witness to what is happening, sharing what is happening with us. And of course, they're doing this under the most horrific of circumstances, many of them with their loved ones, family members, of course, who've been killed, and also at a huge risk to their own lives as well. Many journalists have been injured. This is the deadliest conflict for media workers, according to
I was looking at a chart the other day, and it was like unbelievable, the spike in the deaths, for this war compared to all these other past conflicts.
It's unbelievable, it's shocking, it is distressing, and yet these journalists continue to do their jobs, and it is so vital, particularly because we can't get access. And of course, these are journalists who know the story inside out. This is their lives, they've lived through this, and we're not just talking about living in a conflict zone post-October 7th, but we're also talking about what it means to live as a Palestinian in the Gaza Strip, which has been under a blockade since 2007.
To listen to the full segment, check out the Cascade PBS Ideas Festival podcast, wherever you stream podcasts. A new Cascade PBS Elway poll survey suggests what Washington voters think about the upcoming state initiatives less than a year away from the general election. A new Cascade PBS Elway poll finds a trio of anti-tax initiatives appear to be popular with voters that are set to be on the state November ballot. The poll, taken in mid-May, 6 months ahead of the election, surveyed about 400 registered voters statewide by landline, cell phone, and online. The constituency was asked about the repeal of the capital gains tax and the cap and invest carbon pricing system and changing the long-term care insurance program. 41% of voters said they would likely vote yes to prohibit state agencies from imposing any type of carbon tax program, and roughly 30% would vote no to keep the cap and invest program. On the capital gains tax, nearly 50% said they would vote yes to repeal, and 35% decided to vote no. Of the respondents polled on the state's new long-term care insurance program, 47% said they wanted to repeal it, which would make it optional, whereas just 25% were against the initiative. I'm Paris Jackson. Thank you for watching the Newsfeed, your destination for nonprofit Northwest news. Go to crosscut.com for more.